Welcome back to Lone Oak Farm for episode 5 with me, MrSealyp. So as you've already seen, corn seeding, planting is going on field 49. That seeder is, I say it's making light work of it, fairly light work of it. Over here on field 35, the canola oilseed rape is still being seeded, but something interesting to talk about. I was left a comment after the last episode because I started seeding this, saying that canola oilseed rape is banned in Oregon, and a couple of people commented saying I had no idea about that. We want to know more. So I've done a bit of research, done a bit of digging. So fun fact time and a bit of not a history lesson, education I guess is what you might call it. So here goes. Research was conducted by the Oregon State University from 2006 to 2010 because canola oilseed rape was banned across a lot of Oregon, and it had been grown for many years, but then there were concerns over cross-pollination stuff. I'll get onto that in a second. But the major findings of those studies were that insect pest levels in canola fields were low, white mould was found in all of the canola fields at low to high levels, and significant canola seed was lost due to seed pods shattered during harvesting. Fair enough. The controversy surrounding the production of canola in the Willamette Valley, which is I think on the western side of Oregon, led to a passage of two House bills. So the House bills was House Bill 2427 and House Bill 3382. In those bills, specific issues related to the production of canola were raised. In response to those concerns, Oregon State University was directed to establish research in cooperation with growers and the Oregon Department for Agriculture. Fair enough. In 2013, the first of those bills was signed by Governor John Kitzhaber, House Bill 2427, and that banned the commercial production of canola in the Willamette Valley Protected District of Oregon until 2019. So next year it's going to come up again for kind of looking at. Public opposition to growing canola in the Willamette Valley was strong after the Oregon Department for Agriculture proposed they were going to introduce canola production back into the valley. The Willamette Valley Protected District spans 3 million acres and is considered to be an important vegetable seed production region, and this was the reason why they were against it. Local seed and organic vegetable farmers feared that the canola would cross-pollinate with broccoli, kale, cabbage and other brassica specialty seed crops. The groups were also concerned that canola crops would bring diseases and pests into the area that could or would contaminate the vegetable and clover seed plots. Part of that bill going through was that it would be reassessed, and I think they looked at it again in 2015, and the final report was supposed to be done in 2017. So, 1st of November 2017, the final report on the House Bill 2427 was released. And in it says that Oregon has 4 protected districts. Willamette Valley, which is Central Oregon, Willamette Valley. Then there's Central Oregon, which is Crook, Deschutes, and Jefferson counties. Northeast Oregon, which is all of Baker and Union counties and a portion of Wallowa County, and then it says Malheur, Idaho. In Malheur County, a 3-mile wide strip of land along a portion of the Idaho border has rapeseed prohibited. So those 4 places are places where rapeseed canola growth is banned. The rest of Oregon, you can grow it. In those 4 protected areas, you can't. However, there was House Bill 3382 was passed. That bill said that within those protected areas, 500 acres per year could have rapeseed or canola grown in them. Has to be registered, has to be logged, has to be monitored, and all that kind of thing, which is pretty interesting, I have to say. Those acres were approved by the Oregon Department of Agriculture. Rapeseed is prohibited in Central Oregon Protected District, but you can under a research permit. In the Northeast Oregon Protected District, rapeseed is allowed within a 2-mile isolation distance from compatible crops, so you've got to have gaps in there. In Malheur, Idaho, rapeseed crops are prohibited, and it says all areas of the state not in protected districts are in what are called the general production area, and rapeseed canola is allowed. Now I know it seems a bit heavy, it seems a bit over the top, and I was fascinated that someone had made that comment saying you can't grow it, it's banned in Oregon, and I'd never heard of that. I mean, not that I know a lot about all the different states and what can be grown and what can't be grown, but it's fascinating. So that's why I thought I'd do a bit of research. Those 2 bills were passed, and the rest of Oregon you can, but in those protected districts you can't, apart from 500 acres a year. And it's fascinating reading up on why, and I totally understand why. So that's the heavy portion of this episode completed. The educational side. I just found it interesting, whether you did or not. But there you go. That said, I continue to plant, simply because, one, I'm not sure exactly where in Oregon this farm is. If it's outside the protected zones, the protected districts, I can seed it. If it's within those, it's part of the 500 acres that's allowed. So we're all good, it's not a problem, and we're almost finished actually anyway. So moving on from this, which is pretty much done now. As part of my picking up fields cheaply and that kind of thing, I have been given a contract, interestingly enough. I did say I wasn't really going to be doing contracts, and Jockey Inc. with their kind of bid to buy up fields and also for trying to get the pig farm up and running, I think they were worried about me taking on loads and loads of contracts and not being able to do the work I'm supposed to be doing for the farm, which kind of makes sense. I've missed a bit here. How do I miss that? Which makes total sense. I can understand why they wouldn't want me to. The boss man at the big house, I'm here to work for him first, and everyone else is a secondary concern. But this kind of ties in with what we're trying to do. So we've had a bit of a discussion. And because it's actually to do with hogs. Now, if you remember on Sussex Farm, I'm doing a contract for Big Papa C, hickory smoked hams and deli, and that was for sugar beet. So I'm going to be, well, actually I've done a big portion of that already actually. Well, Big Papa C has formed an alliance, so to speak, a conglomerate, and he's joined up with Farmer Eric. Farmer Eric and Big Papa C are still dealing with hogs, I imagine. They haven't actually said specifically, but they are in dire need of root crops. And they've asked me for, it does say, his esteemed partner, they request the amount of, where are we? 100,000 litres of potato and 50,000 litres of sugar beet. Is it feasible at all for us to do it? And I think we can. We've had a bit of a chat. Now, looking at the map, I'm not going to go massive because I've found Sugar beet only need 50,000 litres. I looked at field 5 up the top, which seems quite a small field when you look at the rest of the fields. However, I think it's something like 1.5 hectares. It's not a small field. That's already got sugar beet in, so the idea would be to go and do a job on that and then buy it. And I think that would be the sugar beet covered. But there aren't any fields. These two show potato as in the ground, but when you go to growth, they're both saying harvested. So what I really need to do is keep doing jobs and then find a field that either I have to seed potato in, or one that gets seeded by someone else, and then maybe look into going over and buying that. Might not be a bad idea. I'm just sort of thinking in my head the best way of doing it. So we've got a field of canola oilseed rape. We've got a very large field, 49, of corn going in, which is also fantastic. I've got a field of barley, and I'm going to do the small field 29 of potatoes. So thinking about pigs and what they need, looking down on here, they need corn, got a field of that on the go. Barley, got a field of that on the go. Canola, I've got that in the ground, and potatoes and sugar beet. So that's the 4 things done that I need. Straw I can get off of the field from the barley. So realistically now, I'm trying to, let's have a look and see. I'm in the planting season, soybean and corn. Oh no! I looked at the temperature, but didn't look at the seeding season. I've just planted an entire field of corn, which shouldn't have been planted until late spring. I am gonna get so fired. Right, I'm just going up there and it's jumped the boundary and it's putting corn into that field too as well. Oh, wonderful. What joy. Well, I've done it again, haven't I? Oh, in my excitement of buying a new piece of machinery, I got out here and got straight on with it. I looked in here and looked down and thought, right, nothing's in the blue. All of those temperatures are in the white, which means, great, I can seed. I didn't look across. I only looked just now because I thought I'll put soybean in field 45. I thought, oh no, soybean, I can't plant that yet. And then looked down at corn. Can't plant that either. So, next job is going to be get back out here, cultivate that. Late spring, I can get back out and put the corn in the ground. This I was going to put soybean in because I've got all the stuff I need for feeding the pigs. All those different crops from the ground, or at least will be soon. This one was going to be a crop for just making money. I was going to put soybean in this. Problem is, when the seeder came back around down towards the lone oak, it got to the lone oak, panicked, turned around and went back, turned round at the end, skipped this boundary, and somehow managed to do this strip here, but not anything else. I think because the trees there, the oh, what's it called? Anyway, the thing that in the ground, in the coding that stops it, collision. So what it's done is it's got to here, and there's a collision around the tree, which it reads the collision and then turns around and goes elsewhere. So it turned around, went back to the end. Rather than stopping, it went across that border and went down this side of the field. Met the collision again for the tree, I would imagine here, in line pretty much with the other side. Turned round, went back up again, and then did a strip here. This has all got to be cultivated in. Oh dear, oh dear. So I'm going to get on the phone, down to the store, see if they've got a cultivator handy. If they can deliver it, I'll get it brought up to the farm. I'll get the big bud on it. It needs to be a fairly large one because I need to get this done quickly. Then I'll get over to, I think, was it field 5, see if there's a job needs doing on there and whether I can buy that. Trouble is, all these things are costing me money. I might have to do a little bit more logging. I know it's not going to pay as well, but because of my error, it's going to cost me money. So let's hope they can deliver one, and pretty soon. What have I done? My wife's gonna kill me. Okay. The guys down at the store have been incredible. We've managed to lease a Flexicoil, was it ST820 or something? Let's just check, what was it? Yeah, ST820. And I think they've delivered it. 20 minutes, 25 minutes it took them to get it up here. That's pretty impressive stuff. Luckily, the seed I've used already, I didn't use a huge amount. Possibly, I don't know, maybe a couple of thousand litres, maybe. Luckily that seeder doesn't fertilise as well, otherwise I would have lost fertiliser too. Please tell me it's here. So this is what's called hiding your mistakes. The problem is, because when they deliver things they plonk them right outside the big house. It's not even like I can say to the boss, no, good day, no mistakes made, all good, don't worry, because he's bound to ask, why was that huge cultivator plonked outside the house today? They're just letting us test it out. A lot of companies do it. They'll give you a loaner for a few days, let you try it out, see what you think, hoping that you're going to buy one. And I suppose his next question will be, what exactly is it you're cultivating? I thought the fields were all ready. So did I. So did I. You'd think, wouldn't you? You'd think by now I would have learned. But apparently not. This thing is massive. Pretty cool though. We did what? 3/4 of it? Maybe 4/5. We're going to get really specific with our fractions. Okay, with the cultivator this wide, it's going to make very, very light work of this. Now I'm probably going to get comments left saying, you should have left it, it would have grown, it would have been fine. And it might have done. It might have just got to midnight and flicked back and shown as harvested, which it's done before, when I made this same mistake on oak field and I planted in field 13, got to midnight and it went back to purple and said harvested. So you know what, I'd rather not take the chance. I'll cultivate it, wait till tomorrow, and we'll get back out and we'll get corn in the field here. Field 45 we'll get soybean in the ground, and that should... I'm worried about barley actually, whether I need a field for wheat or not. Trouble again, it's having the money. Field prices aren't too expensive, they're pretty good, I have to say. But to buy a field big enough to make sure I've definitely got enough wheat or barley as part of the pig food, it's again whether or not it will last the whole year. Saying, oh yeah, I've got plenty. It's corn that's the big one, because they take mostly corn, the pigs do. And I know a few people come in to say, don't do a pig farm, it's not worth it, you're not going to make any money. No, you don't make that overnight money, to be fair, like you do with the milk from the cows. And they won't produce as quickly as they do, like the sheep do. So you've got all the wool coming out as regularly as it does. What you're making with the pigs is pigs. I mean, at the end of the day, they reproduce. So if I get enough of them. But again, where am I going to get the money from? So anyway, this will continue for a little while, and I'll see you when the mistake has been covered up. So what I thought I would do is, while one of my workers, one of the workers, is sorting that out, I've come over here to field 5, over here, top of the map, just north of the biogas, which is just there. So field 5 is sort of tucked across the back of the biogas. Diner's over there, machine storage just behind the biogas, etc, etc. Now this is 1.25 hectares. Now sugar beet, I need 50,000 litres. I should get 50,000 litres off of a 1.25 hectare field, and they only want 19,000 for it anyway, plus there's a job available. So I'm going to do the job for the farmer. Price will come down a little bit, and then I'll happily, on behalf of Jockey Inc., take it off his hands. Then we've got our sugar beet sorted, and then it'll just be a case of looking for a field as seeding progresses. That's going to be that should get me 100,000 litres of potatoes. Doesn't have to be a huge field. Obviously, I don't have the money to buy a huge field, but we'll see how we go. I keep saying I don't. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not me. I'm out spending money on behalf of other people. Oh, they always call this injectors, but I think it's more of a, like the drag hose thing, isn't it? It's more like a slurry dribbler. Doesn't have as good a ring to it though, does it, to be fair? You probably wouldn't sell many if you sold it. It's the Joskin Slurry Dribbler. That's why I don't work in marketing for agricultural equipment, as you can probably tell. Again, this won't have been ploughed, so I'll probably get the maximum fertilising states on it, but then without the plough bonus, which is only 10% to be fair, but my OCD does like to have that in place. It just makes like, whoa, that's a bigger ditch than I thought. Okay, avoid going off in the field. I'm thinking actually while I'm doing this, at some point, and I don't know if it will come off the ground or not, I might get in touch with the Welker Farms guys and find out if I can borrow the big brute. Just give it a go, give it a run out on the fields of Montana. No, Oregon, they're in Montana. Need to get my states sorted out. Yes, they're in Montana. I'm in Oregon. And looking on the map you think, no, that's alright, it's only one state over. It's a fair distance, to be fair. And there we have it. And the field now costs 19,440. I'm going to buy it. Field 5 now belongs to Jockey Inc. We have some sugar beets. I think potatoes I'm going to have to seed. I think it's going to be the way that's going to go. But that's done. Let's see how we're getting on back at the farm. I think I may have found it. The Holy Grail that I've just been looking for. Field number 55. Which is in the south east corner of the map. The job here is for seeding potatoes. Mind you, it's a 66-minute job. Mind you, half that time, roughly 33 minutes ish. Pays 9,000, not bad. That will recover some of the money that I may have lost in seed. The field price at the moment is 60,000. So if I do this job on it, that will come down a little bit. 3.7 hectare field, and that'll have potatoes in it. So I can buy it with potatoes, plus I'll get to do the job. You know what? I'm going to do it. Nice Deutz file. And you get the weight on the front as well. And I'm doing farming. Let's get the map out of the way. Like I said before, I've said it on Sussex recently, let's just open that out, how interesting it is that different maps present you with different challenges, and on Sussex Farm there are so many jobs you can do that make you money. The farming is, for me, is all about the contracts for other people, whereas on this map the contracts are about getting field prices down, about being able to buy the fields, and also getting the crops in them that you need or you want. Cruise control on. So yeah, we're down in the bottom southeast corner. I think that's right. 55, and this is Lone Wolf sell point? Have I oriented myself correctly, or have I got that wrong? Oh, that's right, isn't it? That's Lone Wolf. Across the way. No, hang on. That's southeast. That's Lone Wolf, and across the road is Hollister's. That's it. And the farm's over that direction somewhere. I've gone a little bit off course there, I think. Let's come back over that bit. Is my turning wider or tighter, so I either go directly down the next one or I leave a gap the right width, because that's going to be annoying now. Anyway, you're not going to need to watch me doing 30 minutes or maybe even longer of planting potatoes in here, but we are getting potatoes in the ground at the moment for somebody else, but could very, very soon become ours. I like the fact that field prices aren't catastrophically expensive on here. It's affordable, you can do jobs, you can buy fields, you're not having to, you know, earn so much money that it's not even doable, you know. A little bit wider and then put it down. Anyway, right, so like I say, this will continue. Hopefully when you see me again we'll be finishing off. That's a bit better. Bit better. Cool. Amazing bits of machinery these. as I finish off this contract, job, mission, whatever you want to call it, I have a cunning plan. I have been thinking, when you're going up and down the field and you're mulling things over in your head, I'm not going to buy this field. I have an idea. I'm not sure if the idea is going to work yet. We'll see. But what I will do is finish this off, get the payment, and then I'll either give it a go and come back to you, or I'll explain further. Interesting to see if I do it in 33. Time's ticking down. I went round and round first of all, then up and down on the last section. I was going across the top, side to side, not realising in my head that the field was actually longer than it was wide. Obviously it was a rectangle. It made far more sense to go up and down the field than it did going across from side to side. So that's why I'm doing it this way. This strip should finish it, shouldn't it? Come on, let me do it in 33. That would be halfway. Be perfect. $9,143. Perfect. Field price now is $59,058, which isn't a bad price for 3.72 hectares. I'm going to go and check on field 49, and then we'll have a think about what's going to happen with my plan. Or if my plan fails, this field has now got the... Actually, is there another contract available? No spraying or anything? No. This field has got potatoes in it. So whatever happens, I can come back to this now and buy it if I need to. So that's fine. When I get the first growth stage, there'll probably be another fertilising job to do on it. So if what I'm thinking of doing doesn't work, I can come back and buy this. That's not a problem. So back over, I'm wondering what's happened to this cultivator now. How many fields has it skipped? Because if it's gone... Oh no. What if it's cultivated my grass field? I will have a heart attack if it's done that. Right. Didn't even think of that. The plan is a work in progress, and it appears to be working. I'm not going to divulge what it is just yet. I'm going to wait till I know for definite. What I am going to do though, and this was suggested by somebody, I can't remember who it was, I'm going to put some beehives down. Mr. and Mrs. Jockey from Jockey Inc. Think it's probably not a bad idea, but they've got their flower beds and stuff here and their vegetable patch and all that kind of stuff. Having some beehives here around the farm is not a bad idea. So I think we're going to place some beehives. That will give us a little bit of money to come in. That's the next step. Then I'm going to go over to the forest. I did lease, what was it, an episode ago, 2 episodes ago, whenever it was, that I had the Scorpion King. I released it. That's just sitting there. It'll only incur penalties at midnight and per hour. So if it's sitting there doing nothing, it's not going to incur any penalties. So I might do a little bit more logging just to get the money up a bit. Yeah, I mean, I like a tiny amount, maybe up to 200,000 or something. Not, you know, not going up to 6, 7, 800,000 again. So what we're going to do first, then, let's get some of these beehives placed. I think I've still got them installed. I hope I have. Don't want the big one, because for the price of that we can get a load of little ones. There we go. Bee house 500. Now let's zoom in a bit. I need to make sure I get these the right way around. It shows you which way the bees are going, doesn't it? That's better. I want them coming towards me. So put 1, there, there, there. How much should I do? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool, okay. So, ten beehives. That'll be a little bit of income coming back in. We might be able to sell the honey locally, who knows. I'm going to head off to the woodland. Just trying to think what other machinery I need. And the thing is, until you start doing certain jobs, you suddenly think, oh, I need this, or oh, I need that. I've got a baler, but it's a round baler. Do I want to do square bales? Actually, the New Holland one's worth a bit of money, isn't it? They're about 50 odd grand, aren't they? Something like that, isn't it, for a New Holland baler? 58 brand new. Let's have a look at what we got. 37. I could get a different round baler for a fraction of that. But to be fair, I haven't used that round baler for a while. But I was thinking of doing square bales on this map, I think. So I might actually, you know what, I was going to go and do some logging. What I might do is grab the sluicer and I'm going to take that down and sell it. Take it to the store. The cultivating was fine because of the way I set it off. It cultivated all the bit on field 49 that I hadn't done and then stopped. So then the bit in field 45 I then did myself. This is probably going to get filthy on the way back down anyway, but I'll give it a bit of a squirt before we go. I'll take a rubbishy, dirty bit of machinery down. As far as balers and stuff go, unless like a new baler mod comes out, and on certain Let's Plays I might use round balers, sometimes I'll use square, sometimes I'll do a combination of both. I generally fall back into using the same baler because it works very well and because of the price. And that Krone, is it Big Pack 120/80, 180/20, whichever way around that is one of those balers. It's very, very cheap, works very, very well. I've done round bales on Sussex farm, which I don't normally do. I like doing the square bales because of stacking them and using the what's it called, the Pac V, the stacker. Mine's gone blank, but I'm just trying to think. Might do a combination of various different bits of machinery. I'll see you at the store in a second. We'll sell it and see what we get, and I'll go from there. Now I am often asked whether I plan out my episodes, whether I've got an idea in my head of what I'm going to be doing and when and that kind of thing. Generally speaking, the answer to that is yes. However, there's a couple of phrases, a couple of sayings. One's a military one, and it's no plan survives contact with the enemy. And the other one is Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. And the thing I've found a lot is you can definitely have a plan in your head of how you want to do each episode, and then something you thought you were going to do doesn't work, or you do it quicker than you thought you were going to, or just like me, you get incredibly sidetracked incredibly easily. So what I was intending doing goes out the window because I suddenly think of something else I could do. So, you know, generally there's a plan, there's a rough idea, but you need to be fluid, you need to be a bit flexible and able to just roll with the punches when they happen. So 44, that's not bad. So if I sell that for 44 and then we go to the every single time it is. Oh, I've still got some seed there, haven't I? So if we look at balers, yeah, these obviously the in-game ones are quite expensive, and I went for the Cont Pac FBP baler wrapper on Sussex because I hadn't used it for a long time. The Canola SB1290D is a fantastic baler. It's massive, and it's expensive. So I generally go for modded ones that are cheaper, and the Krone Big Pack 12080 is one example of that. Incredibly reasonably priced, 12,000. Only requires 115 horsepower. But then you've got the Massey Ferguson, which is a bit more expensive, double the price, 24,000. But you can link it with the Quadro Pac V. There you go, Quadro. I can't remember what it was. The Quadro Pac V. Now I'm thinking, for doing square bales, if I do them and stacking them and then loading them, that combination 24 and 25 puts me at 49, and I just sold that for 44. So I could replace it with both of those, because I'm pretty sure the Pac V doesn't hook up to the Krone. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the Massey Ferguson with warning triangle. That's American, isn't it? You have warning triangle, I'm sure you do. Yes, I'm saying that, I hope you do. I'm going to buy that, and then I'm going to get the Pac V. What colour shall I get it in this time? I've had various different colours. I suppose I've just bought the Massey Ferguson baler, so is that too dark? Yeah, let's get it in that. That's not too bad. So with those two purchases, this here will hook on the back of this here. So when I bale, the bales will come out, they'll go into this, they'll go a stack of 4 and come out the back. And then I can come around with a wheel loader, telehandler, whatever I've got, probably with the Cotec forks because I love those. And I can do some manual stacking, I think, on Lone Oak, and for a little bit more, only a little bit more than what I just sold that baler for, I've bought 2 pieces of machinery. That's a no-brainer. I'm happy with that. Okay, well, I'm going to go and get the schluter. These will go back up to the farm. Sidetracked, but in a good way. I'm happy with that. And I think we've come to the end of another episode. My plan will come to fruition in the next episode, I think, is the best way of doing it. Like I say, things didn't turn out how I thought they would, but done a couple of jobs for other people. We bought another field, a few little bits here and there that are going to make a difference, and that's the main thing. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and if you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.